Howdy-ho, boys and girls. It's time for another Jeep Talk Show interview, and we're going to be talking with Chris today. Chris started Bad Flag. You guys know about Bad Robot. Well, this is Bad Flag. In 2016, out of his garage in Utah, he wanted to create a product to allow anyone to fly a flag on any vehicle, and it has evolved into a huge success with a passionate following. Chris is originally from Montana, but now lives in Utah with his wife and 3 daughters. Oh, that would be cool if it was 3 wives and daughter. Well, not cool for you. It's hard to handle. Hard to handle one. But yeah, he loves everything outdoors and loves to get to know his customers and fans. I think that is really fun, especially when you get feedback. And I can well imagine you get plenty of feedback, which we'll talk more about that here in a bit. You can go over right now to badflag.com. It's like you spell it. This is like kindergarten level or first grade level, badflag.com. Well, Chris, thanks a lot for being with us. And I think you have a product here that a lot of people, whether they be Jeepers, back up a second. Jeepers are they find it pretty easy to add flags to their Jeeps. But I can well imagine, and this is on your website, you show a passenger car flying a flag. And I would imagine that is like a godsend for many people that have cars and they want to run a flag back there, whether it be a patriotic flag or something celebrating maybe a car club that they're in. And really, I don't know of any ways of doing this right off the top of my head. So you seem to have a really good product for those people.
Yeah, so we were just talking about how we came up with it and the reason. I shared a little bit earlier about how, the origin was me going to football games and wanting to fly a big flag. At the time, I did have a car. It was just a 4-door, Cadillac, and there were only the plastic window flag options. I wanted to do a big flag and kind of, anybody that flies a flag on their vehicle, period, they want attention. They want to stand out. They want to show.
You want it to be 40 feet tall, and you're putting the flag on there to be seen. Yeah, those little flags are nice, but you're right. You really have to focus on it to see it.
Yeah. So that's where it all started from, and that's what's been cool is to see all the different groups of people that want to fly flags on their vehicles, regardless of, like you said, car clubs. Patriotic things, sports fans, all the different things. It's been really interesting to see that. And, when we talk about Jeepers, I think they're probably one of the most enthusiastic groups of users of my product. And you look at all the cool things that they do on their vehicles. They want to be different, unique, and stand out. And so, obviously there's some times when they need to fly a flag based on the trail or the terrain. And that's kind of an important thing. But a lot of our customers also just do it because they want to make a statement. They want to stand out. They have a Jeep club or a team they're a fan of or whatever it is. And so it's fun to see the Jeepers use the products as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this, I don't want to talk down the Jeep aspect of it because this does make it very convenient to put a flag on your Jeep, and it doesn't have to be permanently mounted. You can take this on and off. That's a good part we should go by here. I mean, you can go to badflag.com and look at this yourself, but tell the viewers about how you mount this, how you mount the flag portion. And you guys have the mount, the flag pole, sort of, I guess was what you would call it. And you even have a couple of flags that you're selling. So how does tell us how the mounting system works?
Sure. Yeah. So going back to the origin, and what I wanted to accomplish was a way that anybody could put the flagpole on any car. And so we went through a few different iterations, and what we landed on was these custom vacuum pump suction cups, similar design to what people use to move countertops or glass or things like that. We've custom engineered them for this purpose. They're each rated for about 250 pounds of force, so they're super strong. So anywhere you have a flat, clean surface, you can attach and suction those suction cups onto the vehicle. Depending on the Jeep model, you have less or more surface area, windows or the body panels or wherever you have space to do it. And so to your point, you can easily just put it anywhere where you have a flat surface. And then if you need to relocate it or move it or whatever, you just break the suction and move it, throw it in the Jeep, whatever you need to do. So we wanted it to be convenient, but it's also very durable and very strong. I mean, I think probably you wouldn't want to do this in Jeep, but I think the top speed record right now is like 160 miles an hour with a flag on the car.
That poor flag.
Yeah. So, and then you mentioned flags. One of the things we found out right away was a normal flag isn't really designed to withstand the beating that it takes on a car driving even 40, 50 miles an hour.
Right.
And so our flags are a little bit different material and construction so that, if you go out to the dunes or you're out driving around for the weekend, you don't have to trash your flag and get a new one. It'll last you about 1,000 miles of normal driving. And so that's one thing that we've really been focused on too, is making it so the flags are made for vehicles and using them that way.
All right. I warned you about this. I have a Jeep Talk Show $1 million idea. Now, this is from the ham radio fun thing, amateur radio. So there is an antenna that you can put on your vehicle called a screwdriver antenna. And the screwdriver antenna has literally the original ones that were made by hand. They take one of those electric screwdrivers and they use it to adjust the antenna. So you can adjust the antenna from multiple frequencies, multiple bands, and you press the button and the little screwdriver inside of the thing turns and it will adjust it. And then you can get the right resonance for the antenna for your radio. All right. So this is a little different thing. So if you were putting a 160 mile per hour flag on your product, you could have the screwdriver down in the base, and then you could press the little button and it'd roll the flag up, and then press the little button and unroll the flag, and the wind speed would actually, pull the thing out. So that's my Jeep Talk Show $1 million idea. Only $39.95, and now you can scroll up your wrap up your flag. So speaking of that, do you guys? I mean, you don't require anybody to use your flag. I mean, this is really for any flags.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, that's right. Yeah, the pole itself, it can work with any flag that has grommets. There's hardware that comes with the flagpole, where you just attach to a grommet style flag. There's other designs or styles of flags out there. So yeah, we have people all the time that fly a flag that they have just already or from some other website. So we want to make it easy and convenient. And obviously, if you're, here in Utah, we got a lot of people that go down south to Moab and others, and they're not necessarily driving fast. So the durability factor isn't as important. And so, yeah, if you've got some other flag, you can use the flagpole and fly whatever you want on the flagpole.
Well, you could probably use some of those office clips. We call them chip clips because that's what we use. The heavy duty metal ones. You could get some of those and then clip your flag to the pole, drive it. Because I would imagine taking the mount on and off is, I understand it's easy, but it's kind of nice. You get on there and get it stuck. And then if you're like me, I always worry about stuff, especially when it costs money, that it's going to come off because you have to clean the surfaces. It's pretty gross, but if I was attaching anything to the inside of the windshield, I would put spit on my finger and put it on the suction cup so that it would hold, and then it would hold longer like that. So is there any kind of special process that you have to go through to attach this to the vehicle? I mean, they're large suction cups, but 90 miles an hour and a big ass flag with a lot of pressure. If it doesn't come off, at least it may slide back a little bit. There's like two suction cups, and I could see that the top one may be sliding back depending on the drag of the flag, and I would imagine the weight of the flag would have something to do with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is pretty interesting. As I got into it, you realize there's a lot of factors that kind of go into it: the surface, the angle of the flagpole, the weight of the flag, like you're saying. There's a lot of things, and it actually is quite surprising how much force a flag at speed is putting on the flagpole and all the hardware that's attached to your vehicle. So it definitely has to be pretty heavy duty. Like I said, each suction cup can hold about 250 pounds of force. So if you have 500 pounds of suction, it's pretty strong. But to your point, there's some things. So I remember on our Instagram, we did a video with one of my friends that has a Hellcat, and we thought we'd do a high speed.
Nice.
I think he got up to 130 or something with it. And when you're doing stuff like that, we would angle the pole backwards so that, there's less force. If if it's vertical, you're putting more force on
Sure.
that pole as opposed to putting it on an angle. We did some things to the flag, like put zip ties through the header of the flag so that it stayed really close and tight to the flag pole itself,
great
instead
idea.
of getting, reducing the drag. So there's definitely some stuff that you'd want to do if you were going crazy, regularly. But you'd be surprised. Those suction cups do really well. I mean, I drive a full-size truck most of the time, and I grew up in Montana. So, I'll drive from Utah to Montana regularly and won't touch the flagpole once, and it stays locked on and doesn't move or doesn't do anything. And I'm cruising at 80 miles an hour the whole time, and so it does really well. But yeah, sometimes you need to take some special precautions if you're, going a little crazy. If you're off jeeping in the mud and the dirt and the dust, and, maybe you want to take some precautions and check them and clean them and things like that. But normal driving, they do pretty great. Just stay and don't move and don't have to worry about it. So,
yeah, I mean, I have no doubt you've done testing, and it kind of sounds like the testing was fun as well. But I have no doubt you've done some testing, but I know that would be my concern. And that's one of the reasons why I want to address it here. And people, all that stuff would never hold. Well, 160 miles an hour, Hellcat, all the rest of that stuff, sounds like you get a good chance.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I learned, because I had some GoPros, and you put the GoPro out there, and then, they could be several $100s, and that you're on it's a suction cup mount, something similar to what you're talking about, and they pop off. I mean, it more than once it popped off, and I even spit on it, to make sure it was nice and wet when I put it on there. And the cool thing is that you're checking it, and then you kind of get you're kind of paying attention to what you're doing, and then you check it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now you have to backtrack to find it. And I was always able to do that, but it happened a couple of times, and I said, screw this, I'm going to tie it to the vehicle. So when it pops off, it's going to be, it'll be a dangler. And then at least I don't have to go find it. So do you have any, I mean, it doesn't sound like you have any problems with it popping off, but do you have anything like that as a part of the product that you can actually attach it?
Yeah. So we don't have anything ourselves, but there have been some customers that have come up with a leash or something like that. Kind of anchored to the vehicle sometimes. And to your point, it's one of those things where when used properly and in the right conditions, it's like rock solid, but it's not, a metal trailer hitch mount that's like bolted to the vehicle that and so, the things that usually will impact it that might cause it to fail, like your GoPro mount, would be, again, if the surface area is dirty or dusty or something, or, even things like, if you have decals or stickers on your vehicle that might change the surface area of where you put
the consistency throughout the suction
consistency, cup. Anything that would cause it to lose suction, you want a perfect seal. The rubber itself, if there's any kind of bending or damaging or anything that, again, would cause it to lose suction in any way, that could cause anything. And then the way the vacuum pump ones work, I don't know if the GoPro has the same thing, but again, with ours, there's an actual vacuum pump, and, there's some rubber seals and things in there. Over time, if you're not watching it and maintaining it, those seals could dry out. It could get dirty and dusty. Again, it's just going to lose suction. And so those are some things that can come into play that could factor the ability to stay on the vehicle. So yeah, maybe a leash is something we need to, just to help people if there is some, maybe you didn't check it, maybe you left it on too long and it dried up or whatever, something that could be useful for people.
I'm thinking that you probably need a leash when you initially start putting it on your vehicle. Because if you're not doing it exactly right, or you didn't read the instructions, or you read the instructions, but you said, screw this, I'll do it the way I want to do it, damn it. That's probably your learning curve is when you initially start using it. And then after you've had success and know how to adhere it, then you probably don't need to worry about the leash. So you guys can come up with a leash. If you actually have metal, iron type body panels and stuff, you could always put a high strength magnet on there for your leash, because sometimes it's hard to find a place to tie the leash off, And so, yeah, I think especially the magnets, the neodymium magnets that they have these days would be amazing. All right,
Yeah,
so I thought about this earlier before we got on this aspect of it. What is the most and if you don't have an answer, make something up. What is the most weirdest or unusual thing that you know about that somebody's used your flag mount for, including not flags? You got any interesting stories over the time? And I was just teasing about making something up.
Well, the weird, I mean, I would say it's weird, but also cool. There's a couple of customers who are actually like active jet fighter pilots who have they haven't flown. I've asked them if they could make it work, but they'll go and attach it to like the F-16 that they're flying and take a picture of it.
Sure.
Like that was pretty cool. Trying to think of what else. People definitely have used it in interesting ways. They'll take my suction cups and use them for other things that they want to attach, to the vehicle. So that's been interesting. There's been pictures or videos of people using my product in like notorious political things, like, rallies, and you'll see it on the news and you're like, oh my gosh, is that yep, that's somebody with the bad flag. You're like, okay, well, people can use it how they want. So
right.
It is interesting. The fun part and the interesting part about our product is it caters to the type of person who wants to be seen and make attention and stand out. And so that just lends itself to a very, interesting.
It is a non-denominational product. Use it however you want to use it.
Yeah. But you got to be the kind of person that wants to, you want to drive up to your car meet and have everyone stop and look at you as you're coming in, right? Like what? Oh, he's got these flags, and what is that? And
I would imagine a lot of people ask, where did you get that? Because like I said, I don't know of anybody else that's selling a product like this. I mean, you can bolt things on, you can screw things on, and then that limits where you can put the flag as well. So speaking of being seen and being noticed, do you have a maximum flag size that you recommend?
Well, our standard pole is 55 inches long, so it's designed just for, I would say your standard 3x5 flag. You can go bigger. Yeah, so that's a big flag. We have people that'll go a little bigger, like a 4x5 or a 4x6 or a little bigger than a 3x5. That's probably as big as you'd want to go. I have been known in the past to create what I call a mega pole. Again, obnoxious sports fan, driving up. So I have a couple of poles that I've made that are like 8 feet tall. And then I'll custom make a flag that if you imagine a full size truck and you put the flagpole on the back window and the flag is 8 feet long going past the end of my truck, that makes people stop and look at it for sure.
Well, so, especially if you're doing 80 on the freeway, you get that nice stiff flag that way.
Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Diesel Brothers. They have a show. They're here in Utah, and we do some business with them. And they give away semi trucks occasionally. And for the last 4th of July, they had like an old Peterbilt with one of my flagpoles and a big flag just waving. So that's a little obnoxious. But yeah, the standard flag is like a full 3x5 flag. We do have the smaller flags that I would say are more like your side-by-side, size flags that people will put one or more of them on the same pole. So, yeah.
So I think you sell a kit, which is the mount and the flagpole. Can you just get the mount part by itself?
So just the suction cups?
Yeah. So if you wanted to do your own pole, because when you mentioned side by side, I thought about something that's obnoxious about side by sides. Those LED sticks,
whips.
Yeah. I mean, what more notice can you have if you had the little LED whip for the flagpole?
Yeah, and I've seen some Jeepers do the LED whips on there as well. So they get some of the Jeepers like to get a little obnoxious with those too. But yeah, so you definitely can. We sell everything individually if people want to buy just the suction cups or whatever. It's designed to work with our flagpole size, which is 1/2 inch in diameter. So if you have some other pole that's a 1/2 inch diameter pole, it would work perfectly with that.
Well, come to think of it, I guess you could zip tie those LED whips to the flagpole, right? I mean, that wouldn't cause an issue. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
And then that way you have the flagpole from you. I mean, the whole kit from you, and also have the LED thing on there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that, I mean, you kind of mentioned it. Is there anything else that you could use this flagpole for, the mount and flagpole for, that maybe wouldn't be a flag? I mean, I mentioned the LED strip or whip, but is there something else that you could use it for?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how other customers have maybe used it, but
I mean, the answer could always be no, or I haven't found out yet. But I'm thinking that you might be able to use it for other things besides this just a flag and a multi-purpose type situation.
Yeah. No, I haven't ventured myself into that. We've been obviously focused on the flagpole, but there are other companies that use similar, like you said, even with the GoPro mounts, there's a company out there called Sea Sucker, which is kind of a random name. They started off in the boating industry, but they use the exact same suction cup mounts that I do, but they're engineered for things like bike racks and ski racks and things on top of the, even the space cases, the big shell cases, that they'll put 4 of those on the roof of a vehicle and attach them to a frame that can hold something like that. So you could definitely use that suction cup stuff for other things. And I'm sure with Jeepers, roof mounts or other things that they have where they're, doing things, that might be something that they could do or would be attractive using the suction cups. Because like you said, it's like there's lots of accessories out there that, use bolts and mounts and hardware and things like that. And sometimes you don't want to make permanent attachments.
Oh yeah. That's the beauty of this thing too, is this isn't a permanent attachment. It's suckers, and they stay on there up to the 160 miles an hour, not a stated thing. 90 miles per hour is what it's stated on the website, which is
we tell people to keep it within reason, but
well,
we also
no fun. There's no fun with reason.
I know. Yeah, we've been doing that. We haven't had anybody try to break that 163 mile an hour one, but we do say if you break it with video proof, then we'll send you a free flagpole and flag. So we'll see. It does seem like the Mopar guys, since Jeep is a part of that family, the Mopar guys are on the crazier end.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the ones that like to push the limits for sure.
So what I was going to mention, I was just going to mention the website again, badflag.com. Now, you mentioned boat. Could people use this on their boat if they wanted to run a flag out on the lake or in the ocean and stuff? I mean, everybody wants to fly American flag multiple places. And I would think that if you can use this on a boat, now you buy one and you can put it on your truck, you can Jeep, your passenger vehicle, or your boat.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So we definitely have customers that do that. It's a little tricky with boats because every boat's a little different.
They're kind of curvy. I mean, I would think it's kind of
interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. We're actually working on some new products right now for next year. So like one is a mount for Harley Davidsons, for example. So you'll be able to take the suction cups off of the pole and then put a bracket on the bottom of the pole. And there's certain attaching mounting hardware for certain Harleys that you can just literally walk over and attach it to your Harley. Yesterday I was in a boat shop and we were looking at some of the towers and different things on the boat. So next year we'll have some updated hardware that you can buy. So if you already have the flagpole and I want to put it on my Harley, I want to put it on my boat, you just buy the different bracket for it and it'll attach right to those different vehicles. So we're working on some of that because we do get a lot of people that are like, hey, I've already got the flags and the hardware and the pole. Do you have something that would work with this vehicle or that? And so we're trying to make that a possibility for people.
Mm-hmm. I would think nobody uses this as an antenna mount. Like they want to put a GMRS antenna temporarily on a vehicle. Maybe they're traveling and they don't want to use a handheld. They want to use an actual mobile radio or a handheld with an external antenna. The only downside I could see to this is that you'd have to have a half-wave antenna, or you'd have to have something that electrically connected the antenna to the vehicle to have proper grounding. That could be a capacitive couple, but then you'd have to do something to the suction cup to make it able to capacitively couple. I know this is kind of in deep radio stuff.
Yeah, you're the radio expert. You'd have to help me on that one.
Yeah, but have you thought about any of this stuff or heard from anybody? Because this actually makes a really easy antenna mount, and especially one that you could put on the wife's car and she wouldn't bitch about except while it was on there.
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, you'll have to give me more information on that. Maybe that's something that we could come up with. I haven't thought about it myself, but that'd be really cool to look into.
Mm-hmm. Well, if people aren't bothering you about it, it may not be worth the time and effort. But just something that popped into my head.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so we covered the size flag, and it sounds like pretty much anything you want to put on there. And if you're going to go, if you want to get a free replacement, you need to video all your travels with the flag and the flag mount, bad flag. So you can get, we'll just mention this here if you don't mind, bad flag pole and hardware, $119.99. And if you buy two, you can have the USA flag on one side and the Marine flag on the other. And now you're cruising and showing the colors, the patriotic colors on both sides of your vehicle.
Yeah. There you go. I think two's probably about, the most that most people ever need. And that's usually how they do it, is an American flag plus their sports team or the military branch or their car club or whatever side by side. So, and yeah, if you look at the website, I think we do free shipping over $150. It's all one solid unit. So it is a big, long box that shows up, but we'll cover shipping for people if you get over $150 with that. And I think we've got over 70 different flag designs. We can do custom flags as well. So we get a lot of people, that have car clubs or Jeep clubs or whatever. And so we'll do custom designs and everything for the flags using our same construction and materials and everything. So, it's going to last long and be a quality flag. So we do that as well. And that's been fun to see lots of creative and different designs that people want to put on flags. So we do all that as well.
I don't know if you're familiar with the popular sci-fi movie They Live, but I'm thinking a nice white flag with the word obey or consume.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's interesting. You get like the different groups or clubs or whatever, and there's different slang words or pictures or whatever that they just want to put on there, and half the time you don't really know what it means, but it's some inside joke or something.
Inside jokes are great. Not everybody has to get it, because sometimes I think that's really cool from the standpoint it makes people wonder and they go and look it up, and then they they find out more information about it. So generating that activity. You mentioned you had a Cadillac at one point. I was just flashing on the presidential motorcade, where the presidential vehicle had the little flags up front. The two USA flags that are flapping. You could do something like that as well.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. I always think, every time I watch a NASCAR race or see like the motorcade, I always think, oh man, it'd be cool to be the official flag of whatever. So hopefully someday, I think that'd be cool.
Well, I think it's a good product for that, because it doesn't require engineering to put a flag on the vehicle. And I mean, keeping it simple, stupid is the mantra for any engineer, unless they're German.
That's true.
Germans make good stuff, but come on, they don't keep it simple.
It's just like, again, use cases like my daughter's on this high school dance team, and for their competitions, they ride all on a team bus, and so we put, every time they go to a competition, we put two flag poles on the bus with their team flags, and you kind of know, that's the team and the motorcade, and the parents are all following. And, nobody's ever seen a flag flying on a school bus before. It's just not something that people have done. So it's kind of fun to be able to do things like that. We have people that, maybe they go down to the dunes or to the racetrack with their, big enclosed trailers. And because that's a nice flat surface, they can put the flag poles on the outside there. Or, when they go to the racetrack and they've got their RVs and their trailers, they'll put these on there, and then they know, again, they can just take them off or whatever they want to do. So it's pretty fun to see how people are using them sometimes.
That's a good point about the trailers, because I don't know how you are, but I've got a big Jeep Talk Show logo on the my Gladiator, but I think that we have seen those wraps or those stickers, even if they're large and obnoxious. I think we've seen them so much, we ignore them. But if it's a big flag and it's moving, I think that draws more attention, especially like people looking at it, a guy will be looking at that going, how's that staying on there with suction cups? There's no way, that type thing. And they start thinking about it. And then, I think from an advertising standpoint, or just being noticed standpoint, it's a great idea. So you mentioned the Diesel brothers. Do you have any other famous or notable people that have your product that you know about? I mean, I'm sure there's some people that you wouldn't know.
That's a good question. I mean, I think they're the only ones with like a TV show and big presence social media wise that I can think of. I mean, I've had lots of customers who are even big athletes or whatever that get them. There's a couple of like country music stars and things like that who have purchased them and they put them on their trucks and 4th of July and things like that. So nobody else that I can think of, but it's always fun when you see somebody like that. Sometimes I don't even know, I just see them on social media, like people with Lamborghinis or Ferraris.
That's
like,
obnoxious.
Oh my gosh, it's like taking it, you have a Lamborghini, it's already obnoxious enough, but now you've got to step it up.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think obnoxious is just fine. Yeah. So, I was going to ask this earlier. How many flags can you put on the pole? Are the mounts fixed, so it has to be a certain distance, or can you put more of those clips on there in case you wanted to run 2 small flags?
Yeah, no, they're totally flexible as far as where you put them. They just have little Allen bolts to tighten themselves and clamp. So you can slide them up and down based on the size of the flag, or maybe you want to do more than one flag, like you're saying. You can totally do whatever you want and get creative with it. Sometimes people will even do like a normal flag, and then underneath they'll do like a pennant style flag, or other things like that. So it gives you some flexibility there.
So can you buy more of those if you wanted to add that to the kit?
Sure. Yep, definitely.
Very neat. I think this is a really exciting product. I mean, it's just flying a flag on a vehicle, but like I said earlier, when you have a sticker, most people get used to the sticker, and they just kind of ignore it. I think that the plumber sitting on the toilet on the passenger, the driver's door, gets more noticed, but the majority of them you kind of ignore. But a flapping flag, I think anything that has motion to it, I think makes a big difference. And there's really no limit other than surface area on how many of these you can stick on your vehicle. So
and we've seen, though, I mentioned the custom flags. We do have, I would say, probably most of the custom flags are that same line of thinking that you just mentioned, which is it's like a business logo, and they want to do it so that people stop and look. And maybe it's in addition to having the vehicle wrapped, where you have more information and surface area, but the flags make people,
good point. Pull the attention, and maybe they'll look at the wrap as well.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool, and it's, to your point, it almost takes a while to get used to the amount of attention that you get when you're flying with flags on your vehicle, whatever they are. Everybody stops and looks at it, and sometimes at first you kind of get uncomfortable with a little bit, but it's pretty fun, especially if you're going like 80 miles an hour on the freeway, and people are like, what the heck? How is that even functioning? Or whatever.
People are on AI asking physics questions.
Yeah. The other thing that's been fun too is, I know there's a lot of car people in general, but Jeepers are one of those groups where you've got social media accounts and pages dedicated exclusively to someone's vehicle, right? That's all there is.
Yeah.
And the flags and the flagpole give those people a unique opportunity to create some really cool content, whether it's for holidays or whatever it is, that help them. It's just another excuse to like, hey, I'm going to go do a really cool video for the 4th of July with my Jeep or whatever it is. That really kind of, those videos go viral. It just sets them apart from everything else. And that's been one thing that's been cool, is a lot of people that want to do that, they love the product, so that it's just another excuse to create different content that people really like.
Very, very neat. So, before I forget about it, you actually offered up a discount code for our
Sure,
viewers. Do you want to tell the folks about that?
Yeah. What was the code? Jeep
Jeep
Talk
Talk
Show.
Show. Yeah.
Jeep Talk Show. So if you go to the website now until the end of the year, so 2025, that code will get you 30% off anything in the store. So that's a little better than the code we were doing even for Black Friday. So we love our Jeep fans and Jeep customers. Most of our Jeep customers are excited and passionate. We love it when they post content and tag us so we can repost and reshare and do all of those kinds of things. But yeah, 30% off Jeep Talk Show, any products, and now through the end of the year.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I know that people are going to moan this because you always have to hear this during Christmas time. But what a great gift for Christmas!
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
very
that.
unique.
I wouldn't say that it's a stocking stuffer unless you want them to know what's in the stocking because it's sticking out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm serious. I could see this. If you've got a Jeep fan that keeps putting all kinds of crap on their Jeep, and then when I say crap, I mean Jeep parts, and they don't know what else to get. This is great because it's not $300 to $1,000 like most Jeep stuff, and
Sure.
I can see people getting very excited about this. For custom flags, if somebody wanted to buy something for Christmas, a custom flag probably wouldn't be doable this close to Christmas, right?
Probably not. We're getting a little close to that. Those do take a little longer, but everything else we ship out same day. So, you do have another week or two to get stuff before Christmas. If you don't want to buy the flagpole, we've got, like I said, over 70 flags. People even like to hang them in their garage where the Jeep sits and kind of decorate the walls and things like that. So those are great as well.
It makes it easier to find too, because if you put them away, you'll never find it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So no, it's chances are your Jeeper in your family doesn't have something like this. So to your point, it's a great thing that, could be a great Christmas present or whatever that, they probably hadn't even thought of, but they're going to get excited about for sure.
Oh yeah. And I think that's important because anytime you get somebody a gift, you love it whenever they're excited about it. I mean, how excited can you get about socks and a tie, right? So, and this
only
is
so much.
Yeah, this is not an expensive gift. And I think the Jeeper in your life will be very excited about it. And, if you're a couple that each have a Jeep, well, you can buy yourself one at the same time.
There you go. There you go. And that's what's nice too, like let's say you just Jeep on the weekends or whatever, and your daily driver is anything else. You can take that flagpole and put it on the Jeep, but also any other vehicle that you have. And it's universal and it's great for that as well. So that's one thing that people like a lot is they can move it from vehicle to vehicle and they know it works regardless. So
yeah, you could get a flag because you don't have to run the same flag all the time. You could get a flag when you're got it on your daily driver. You can actually have it say my other vehicle is a Jeep. So
there you go.
That way you can let people know.
That. We should make that flag. That's a good one.
All right, Chris. So you know how the kids love the social media. We've mentioned it a few times. A few things that people can look at and see. Where can the kids go to find you guys on social media?
Yeah, all the kids can find us really on all the major platforms. Official Bad Flag is where we're at on Instagram, and then if you just search Bad Flag on TikTok or Facebook or Snapchat or whatever else, you'll find us there. I recommend you look at the posts our customers make as well. That's one cool thing about our product. Again, our customers are very passionate. They love to post content. There's tons of Jeep content on there as well. And so most of our content is actually just us resharing, customer pictures and videos and things like that. So if you have, a Jeep, maybe you're not sure, where would this fit? Where can I put it? Just look at our posts and scroll down if you have to. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of examples, and you'll see probably your exact vehicle and some good examples of where you could place the flagpole. So
that's a great idea.
Check it out on social media.
Yeah. Sharing other people's success is the way I look at that. They've had success in the placement. And I know people are going to be like me. They're going to be nervous at first. Real quick, any issues with theft since it's just stuck on there? Do you recommend removing it? And
I would say, if you're driving through a sketchy part, you can always take it off and throw it in the trunk. There have been a couple of interesting videos. People have posted security footage where they see people walking up and, typically the people trying to steal stuff might not be as intelligent as the rest of us. And so,
Right.
They'll go up and they'll grab it and start pulling on it. It doesn't go anywhere and things, but I've heard of a few instances. So yeah, if you're in an area you're worried about it, you can always just pop it off, throw it in the vehicle, and then put it back on when you get out there. But for the most part, the people stealing it have a hard time figuring it out.
That's the value of a product, is when people want to steal it. It's just holding a flag, but people want to take it. Oh, and it just dawned on me, you could use this as a dent puller. So if you had a little issue, use the rod that goes between the suction cups and pull out that dent. All right. Well, I'll keep going with this for hours. I think it's a cool product. I think that a lot of people will be excited about this. I'm sure you're already selling to Jeepers. And if you can have custom flags, even though you might not be able to get it for Christmas, hey, there's going to be a birthday coming up. So you can always get the flag later. And now the one thing is covered, two occasions for that individual.
Perfect.
Chris, thank you so much. Again, it's badflag.com, and it's not just for Jeeps. It's for anything that has a flat surface that these suction cups can stick to. Everybody loves flags, and everybody loves seeing flags. And if you can get one of their flags, it will last for a long time with that, even at highway speed. So it's a wonderful deal, Chris. I really appreciate you coming on. I like talking about products that I think people will enjoy and have fun with. And that's really all this is about, is just enjoying and making things more fun for your life and the others around you.
Yep. Perfect. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.